The village of Ngoma thrives under the shadow of the ancestral mask, an artifact that holds immense significance in the lives of its people. Passed down through countless generations, the mask is believed to be the source of the village's prosperity, bringing abundant harvests, good health, and protection from misfortune. It is more than an object, it is a symbol of identity, a bridge between the living and the spirits of the ancestors. The elders speak of the mask with reverence, insisting it carries the voices of those who came before, guiding the community and ensuring its survival. For Aminata, the mask represents something entirely different. At 16, she is filled with dreams of a life beyond the village, a life where she is free to explore the world and escape the traditions that feel like chains. The city, with its promise of freedom and modernity, calls to her. She imagines tall buildings, bustling streets, and opportunities that stretch beyond the hills of Ngoma. Yet, these dreams clash with the expectations placed upon her by her grandmother, Bibi Ya, the village's revered guardian of the mask. Bibi Ya is steadfast in her belief that the mask must be protected at all costs. To her, it is not only a sacred duty, but the very essence of their identity as a people. She speaks of the mask as if it breathes, as if it watches and judges. For years, she has carried the weight of this responsibility, ensuring the mask remains untouched, its power undisturbed. To Aminata, however, these beliefs seem outdated, relics of a time long gone. She often questions the mask's significance, wondering if it truly holds any power or if it is merely a symbol designed to keep the villagers bound to tradition. Her skepticism grows stronger with each passing day, particularly as she begins to notice the fear and reverence the mask inspires in others. She cannot understand why a carved object should dictate so much of their lives. Her grandmother's constant insistence that the mask is the foundation of their community frustrates her, creating a rift between them. Aminata feels trapped, unable to reconcile her desire for freedom with the weight of her family's expectations. One evening, as the sun sets and the village grows quiet, Aminata overhears a heated argument between her grandmother and her uncle, Kofi. The two voices rise and fall like waves crashing against the shore, each filled with emotion and accusation. Kofi, often seen as a bitter man, accuses Bibi Ya of hiding the truth about the mask and the family's troubled past. His words cut through the silence of the evening, leaving Aminata frozen in place as she listens from the shadows. Kofi speaks of a curse tied to the mask, a dark secret that has haunted their family for years. He claims that the mask is responsible for the disappearance of Aminata's parents, suggesting that Bibi Ya knows more than she lets on. His accusations grow sharper, filled with anger and frustration, as he demands answers from his sister. Bibi Ya, however, remains defiant, her voice steady and firm as she denies his claims. She insists that the mask is a blessing, not a curse, and warns Kofi against speaking such dangerous words. For Aminata, this argument is a revelation. It opens a door to questions she has long avoided, questions about her parents and the role of the mask in their fate. The mention of a curse lingers in her mind, sowing seeds of doubt and curiosity. Could it be true? Could the mask, the object her grandmother holds so dear, be the cause of so much pain and loss? As the argument continues, fragments of truth begin to emerge, but they are incomplete, like pieces of a puzzle scattered across the ground. Kofi's words suggest that the mask is not just a symbol of power, but a source of danger. He speaks of a time before Aminata's birth, a time when the mask's influence led to a series of events that tore the family apart. His voice, filled with bitterness, paints a picture of betrayal and secrecy, one that Bibi Ya refuses to confirm or deny. Aminata's mind races as she pieces together what little she can from the argument. She begins to see the mask not as an object of reverence, but as a key to the mysteries of her family's past. The unanswered questions weigh heavily on her, and the rift between her and her grandmother deepens. She cannot shake the feeling that the mask holds the truth she has been searching for, a truth that her grandmother is unwilling to share. Driven by a growing sense of determination, Aminata makes a decision that will change her life forever. She resolves to confront the mask herself, to uncover the secrets it holds and find the answers that have eluded her for so long. It is a bold choice, one born of frustration and curiosity, but it is also a dangerous one. The mask, revered and feared, is not something to be approached lightly. As the village sleeps, Aminata prepares herself for the journey ahead. She knows that her actions will defy her grandmother's wishes and challenge the traditions of her people. Yet she cannot ignore the questions that burn within her. The mask, the source of so much mystery and conflict, calls to her in a way she cannot explain. It is time, she decides, to uncover the truth and take the first step toward understanding her family's past. Aminata stepped out into the cool night air. The village was still, save for the faint rustling of leaves in the gentle breeze. She held her breath as she moved away from her grandmother's hut, careful not to disturb the Siam. Sleeping chickens by the doorway. Her heart pounded with every step toward the shrine, the place she was forbidden to enter alone. She whispered to herself, "I have to know." The shrine stood at the edge of the village, shrouded in shadows cast by ancient trees. The carved pillars guarding its entrance loomed like silent sentinels. Aminata hesitated but then pushed forward, her curiosity stronger than her fear. She stepped inside, her feet brushing against the cool stone floor. There it was, the ancestral mask. Its deep, hollow eyes seemed to watch her, its intricate carvings reflecting faint moonlight. Her hand trembled as she reached out. "What secrets do you hold?" she murmured. The moment her fingers brushed the mask, a faint glow began to pulse from its surface. The light spread across the carvings, illuminating symbols Aminata had never seen before. A whisper filled the air, soft, indistinct but growing louder. It wasn't one voice but many, layered together like a chorus of spirits. The whispers formed words. "Why have you come, child of Oba?" Aminata froze, her breath caught in her throat. I want to know the truth," she replied, her voice shaking. The mask glowed brighter, and the whispers deepened into a low hum. "The truth is buried in the past. To uncover it, you must complete what was left undone." Before she could ask what that meant, the mask fell silent. The glow faded, leaving only the soft light of the moon streaming through the cracks in the shrine. Aminata stepped back, her mind racing. "Left undone? What does that mean?" she whispered to herself. The next morning, the village buzzed with news of her actions. Word traveled fast in Ngoma. The elders gathered at Bibi Ya's hut, their faces lined with anger and concern. "Your granddaughter has violated the shrine's sanctity," Elder Mbeki said, his voice heavy. "Such actions disturb the balance." Bibi Ya turned to Aminata, her expression a mix of fury and fear. "What have you done, child?" she demanded. Aminata stood firm, though her heart raced. "I only touched the mask. I needed answers." Elder Mbeki slammed his staff into the ground. "The mask is not for idle curiosity. It is sacred. If the balance is disturbed, the ancestors may abandon us." The elders murmured their agreement, their voices filled with apprehension. Bibi Ya bowed her head. "I will ensure this does not happen again," she promised. "Leave it to me." Later that day, Bibi Ya confronted Aminata alone. "You have brought shame to this family," she said sharply. "Do you not understand what the mask means to our people?" Aminata's anger flared. "What does it mean, grandmother? You keep telling me it's important, but you never tell." "Me why? You hide behind riddles and warnings, but you don't tell me the truth." Bibi Ya's hand tightened on her walking stick. "Some truths are too dangerous, Aminata. You are too young to understand." "Then when will I be old enough?" Aminata shouted. "When it's too late? When I've spent my whole life guarding something I don't even believe in?" The tension between them hung heavy in the air. Before Bibi Ya could respond, Kofi appeared in the doorway. "You should tell her, yeah," he said, his tone bitter. "Tell her what happened to her father." Bibi Ya's eyes narrowed. "Stay out of this, Kofi." But Kofi didn't back down. He turned to Aminata. "Your father, Oba, was exiled because of that mask. They said he stole it, but it was all a lie. A lie to protect the village's precious traditions." Aminata stared at him, her mind reeling. "What are you talking about?" Kofi continued, his voice filled with anger. Your father was set up. The mask was already cursed, but they needed someone to blame when things went wrong. Ya knows the truth. Ask her. Aminata turned to her. Grandmother. Is that true? She demanded. Bibi Ya's silence was answer enough. Why didn't you tell me? Aminata shouted. Why have you been hiding this from me? I did what I had to do to protect you, Bibi Ya said finally, her voice low. Some truths bring more harm than good. That night, Aminata couldn't sleep. Her mind was filled with questions. When she finally drifted off, her dreams were vivid and strange. She stood in a vast open field, the sky above her filled with swirling clouds. The mask appeared before her, floating in the air. Seek the symbols, the voices whispered. The truth lies in the forest. Aminata woke with a start, her grandmother's words still echoing in her mind. Some truths bring more harm than good. But Aminata was no longer afraid. She knew what she had to do. At dawn, she gathered her courage and set off for the forest, determined to find the answers that had been hidden from her for so long. The night sky glowed under the rare alignment of the moon, casting a silvery light over the village of Ngoma. The air felt heavy with a presence unseen, as if the ancestors themselves were watching. Aminata stood before the shrine, clutching the relic she had found in the forest. Her breaths were steady, though her heart raced with anticipation. She spoke softly. This is the night. The answers will come, no matter what they reveal. She approached the ancestral mask, its surface dull and shadowed, but she felt its silent pull. Carefully, she placed the relic beside it. The moment the relic touched the mask, a burst of light erupted, and the carvings on the mask began to glow. Symbols danced across its surface, and a low hum filled the air. Aminata stared in awe as the glow intensified. Then, a voice emerged. From the hum, deep and layered, as though many were speaking at once. You seek the truth, child of Oba. You seek the past that was buried. I do. Aminata replied, her voice firm. Tell me why my father was cast out. Show me what really happened. The light from the mask swirled, pulling her into a vision. She found herself standing in a memory not her own. The scene unfolded before her. The village years ago, the elders gathered in council. Her father Oba stood at the center, his face resolute but pained. The elders accused him of stealing the mask. You have brought shame to our people, Oba, one said. For this crime, you are banished. Oba's voice rose above theirs. I did not steal it. You know this is not true. I acted to protect the village, to protect us all. The vision shifted, revealing Kofi and Bibi Ya standing. In the shadows, their faces troubled. Kofi whispered to Bibi Ya, it had to be done. If they knew the mask's true origin, the rival clan would come for it. Bibi Ya's voice was heavy with guilt. But Oba, he is innocent. It's him or all of us, Kofi replied, his tone bitter. The secret dies here. The vision faded, and Aminata found herself back in the shrine, her fists clenched. They lied, she said aloud. They framed him to protect the mask. The mask's voice returned, calm yet commanding. The truth is not yet complete. There is more you must know. Another vision overtook her. This time, she saw her father wandering in exile. He was alone, but his resolve remained unbroken. He spoke to himself as though addressing someone unseen. I will bear this burden, so Aminata does not have to. Let the curse end with me. The vision faded again, leaving Aminata trembling. My father sacrificed everything for me, she whispered, all because of this mask and the lies tied to it. Before she could process it fully, a loud cry echoed through the village. The ground seemed to tremble as warriors emerged from the forest. Their leader, draped in robes adorned with feathers and bones, carried a staff that glowed faintly in the moonlight. Ngoma, the leader shouted. You have kept what is ours for too long. Tonight we reclaim the mask. The villagers scrambled in fear, but Aminata stood her ground. The mask's voice spoke urgently. It is time, Aminata. You are the bridge between past and future. Use the relic and awaken the mask's true power. Aminata gripped the relic and raised it high. Light shot from the mask, forming a shield around the shrine. The rival clan's warriors attacked, their weapons clashing against the barrier. Aminata stepped forward, her voice steady. This mask is not just an artifact. It is a burden, a gift, and a curse. If you want it, you will face its truth. The mask's energy surged, repelling the warriors. The leader faltered, his staff dimming. This power, it cannot be, he cried. The battle slowed, and amidst the chaos, Kofi fell to his knees. Tears streamed down his face as he shouted, "It was my fault. I was jealous of Oba. He was supposed to guard the mask, not me. I framed him. I forced Bibi Ya to go along with it." The villagers turned to Kofi in shock. Bibi Ya stepped forward, her voice breaking. "I only wanted to protect you, Aminata. Everything I did out of love and fear. But I see now, I was wrong." Aminata lowered the relic. The mask's voice resonated through the air. "Truth has been spoken. Forgiveness must follow. Only then can the wounds of the past be healed." The rival clan's leader stepped back, his warriors retreating. "This is not over," he warned. "But tonight, we leave." As silence returned, Aminata faced her grandmother and uncle. "The mask has judged," she said, "and so have I. We must build a new future, one where the mask belongs to us all, not to one family, not to one person." The mask's glow faded, its voice quieting. The villagers bowed their heads, understanding that a new chapter had begun. Aminata stood tall, no longer a girl questioning her place, but a leader ready to guide her people. The glow of the mask pulsed, one final time, illuminating the shrine with a soft light that felt like the touch of dawn. A voice emerged, deep and resonant, as though carried on the wind of ages past. The mask spoke with authority, its tone neither gentle nor harsh, but firm. "The time has come," the mask said. "No longer shall I belong to one bloodline alone. My power is not for one family, but for all. The burden of my legacy must be shared, and with it, the responsibility of truth and justice. Unity, not division, will keep this village strong." The elders exchanged glances, their expressions a mixture of awe and unease. For generations, the mask had been guarded by Bibi Ya's family. The thought of relinquishing its sole guardianship was unthinkable, yet the mask's decree could not be ignored. Aminata stood before the gathering of elders and villagers, her voice steady despite the weight of the moment. "The mask has spoken. Its wisdom is clear. This is not just my family's burden to bear. The mask belongs to all of us. Let us create a new tradition, one where every clan has a part in safeguarding its legacy." Elder Mbeki stepped forward, his staff tapping against the earth. "How do you propose we ensure this, Aminata? The mask's power is great, and such power often brings conflict." Aminata nodded. "We will form a council, made up of representatives from each clan. The mask will rest in the shrine, protected by all, not one. Together, we will honor its history and share its responsibilities." The murmurs of the villagers grew louder, some nodding in agreement, others hesitant. Bibi Ya rose from her seat, her gaze fixed on Aminata. "You speak with wisdom, child, perhaps greater than mine. If this is the path the mask has chosen, then I will not stand in its way." The vision from the mask returned to Aminata that night, clearer than before. It guided her into the wilderness, showing her the way to a hidden refuge deep in the forest. The path was treacherous, the air thick with the scent of earth and moss. Aminata pressed forward, her determination unshaken. At last, she came to Wai, a cave, its entrance framed by vines and stone. Inside, a faint light flickered, a small fire burning low. There, sitting cross-legged by the flames, was a man whose face she recognized instantly. "Father," she whispered, her voice trembling. Oba turned slowly, his eyes widening as he saw her. "Aminata," he said, disbelief and joy mingling in his voice. "Is it truly you?" "It is," she replied, tears streaming down her face. "I found you. After all these years, I found you." They embraced, the fire crackling softly as if sharing in their reunion. Oba held her tightly, his voice breaking. "I thought I would never see you again. I thought I had lost you forever." As the fire burned brighter, Oba began to speak, his voice heavy with the weight of the past. "I was cast out to protect you. The mask carried a curse, one that the rival clans sought to reclaim. I took the blame to keep them away, to keep you safe." Aminata listened, her heart aching with each word. "You could have fought back, father. Why did you let them exile you?" Oba shook his head. "Sometimes the only way to protect what you love is to bear a burden in silence. I watched from afar, ensuring the rival clan did not return. It was the only way I could continue to protect the village. And you." Aminata returned to the village with her father the next day, her steps purposeful and her resolve clear. As the villagers gathered, she stood before them once more. "I have learned much in these past days," she said. "The mask is not just a symbol of power, it is a reminder of our shared responsibility. My father sacrificed everything to protect us. Now, we must honor that sacrifice by standing together." The villagers murmured in agreement, their initial doubts melting away. The elders nodded, and Elder Mbeki declared, "Let it be known that today marks a new beginning for Ngoma. The mask will belong to all, as will its legacy." The day of renewal came, marked by a grand festival. Drums echoed through the village, their rhythms weaving a melody of hope and unity. Children danced in circles, their laughter ringing through the air. The mask rested in its place of honor, within the shrine, now protected by the newly formed council. Aminata moved through the crowd, her presence commanding yet humble. She felt the weight of her new role, but also its promise. She stepped onto the raised platform in the center of the village and raised her hands for silence. The crowd stilled, their attention focused on her. "We stand here today, not as separate clans, but as one people," she began. "The mask has taught us that unity is our greatest strength. The past may be filled with pain and betrayal, but it also carries lessons. Let us take those lessons and build a future where truth and forgiveness guide us." The crowd erupted in applause, their voices echoing Aminata's words. The festival continued long into the night, the flames of the bonfire dancing as if celebrating, alongside the villagers. The ancestral mask rested in the shrine, its carved surface silent yet commanding. Aminata stood before it, her thoughts a storm of doubt and determination. The mask was a symbol of everything she was supposed to honor, yet her dreams lay far beyond the hills of Ngoma. The clash between her duty and her aspirations weighed heavily on her. "Why must it always be this way?" she whispered. "Why must I choose between who I am and who I want to be?" Her grandmother's words echoed in her mind. "The mask is not a choice, Aminata. It is your destiny." Bibiya sat by the fire, her fingers tracing the edge of her staff. The flames flickered, casting long shadows across her face. "This mask has been our family's burden for generations," she said aloud, though no one was near to hear. "It is the reason our village thrives, the reason we are still here." Her thoughts turned to Aminata, whose questions had grown sharper and more insistent. "She doesn't understand," Bibiya murmured. But how could she? She did not see the years of struggle, the sacrifices made to keep the mask safe. In a quiet corner of the village, Kofi stared into the distance, his fists clenched. "Oba was always the favored one," he muttered. "Always chosen, always trusted." The jealousy in his voice was undeniable. And yet, he was cast out. If only they knew it was my hand that guided their choice. He remembered the night he whispered the lies that led to Oba's exile. It was for the good of the village, he told himself, though the bitterness in his heart betrayed him. The mask had to be protected, even if it meant turning against my own blood. The day Aminata found her father changed everything. Oba's exile had been a shadow over her family, but his return brought light to the truth. "I never blamed them," Oba said softly, his voice filled with both pain and peace. Not even Kofi. I chose exile to protect all of you. Aminata looked at him, her heart heavy with the weight of his sacrifice. But why didn't you fight back? Why did you let them take everything from you? Oba smiled faintly. Because some battles are not won with words or fists. Sometimes the greatest strength is in letting go. The mask glowed faintly as the villagers gathered around the shrine. Its voice resonated, filling the air with a calm yet commanding presence. The past has been revealed. The lies, the betrayals, and the sacrifices. All of it was to protect the balance. Now, you must decide how to move forward. The elders bowed their heads, their faces marked with regret and understanding. The mask is right, Elder Mbeki said. We cannot allow this to divide us any longer. The mask belongs to all of us. Aminata stood before the villagers, her voice steady and clear. The mask is more than a relic. It is a reminder of who we are and what we can become. It shows us our faults, but it also shows us how to rise above them. The villagers nodded, their unity palpable. From this day forward, Aminata continued, the mask will no longer belong to one family. Its legacy will be shared, and its power will unite us. As the village prepared for the festival of renewal, Aminata walked through the bustling crowd. She saw the children laughing, the elders speaking in hushed tones of pride, and the younger generations looking to her with hope. She smiled, feeling the weight of her role, but also its purpose. Her journey had taught her that strength came not from running from her heritage, but from embracing it. We are stronger together, she thought. Our past, our struggles, and our future are all part of the same story.